How to fix PUBG crashing mid-match on RX 7600. Welcome back to Tenabalta. Today we are tackling a severe stability issue where PUBG Battlegrounds crashes straight to the desktop, right in the middle of a match. Our engineering team at Tenabalta investigated this extensively and discovered a major power delivery anomaly specifically affecting the AMD Radeon RX 7600. During our diagnostics, we noticed that factory overclocked versions of the RX 7600 experience massive power spikes that the game engine simply cannot handle. We tested various configurations and isolated the exact settings, causing the graphics card to boost beyond its stable limits. Let us dive straight into our first and most effective fix directly within the AMD Adrenalin software. Right-click your desktop and open the AMD software. Then navigate to the Performance tab at the top of the window. From the Performance menu, click on the Tuning subtab to access your graphics card telemetry. Tenabalta found that the default tuning preset allows the RX 7600 to push aggressive clock speeds that destabilize the game. Click on the Custom Tuning option to unlock manual control over your GPU parameters. You will need to accept the warning prompt that appears, confirming you are taking manual control of the hardware. Enable the GPU tuning toggle and expand the Advanced Control menu beneath it. Our analysis revealed that capping the maximum frequency is the absolute key to stopping these random PUBG crashes. Set the maximum frequency slider down to the standard reference boost clock of 2655 Megahertz. If you are still experiencing minor instability, we confirmed that lowering this further to 2600 Megahertz completely eliminates the power spike issue. Next, we need to address the voltage regulation to ensure smooth power delivery during intense firefights. Enable the voltage tuning toggle in the same menu and lower the maximum voltage slightly by 10 to 15 millivolts. After applying your frequency and voltage changes, click the Apply Changes button in the top right corner of the AMD software. This hardware-level restriction stops the GPU from exceeding its 185-watt TDP envelope. Moving on to in-game settings, our testing showed a peculiar behavior with PUBG data collection features. Launch PUBG and navigate to the Gameplay Settings tab in the Main Options menu. Scroll down until you find the option labeled Collect GPU Data and toggle this setting on. While this sounds like a purely diagnostic tool, our team observed that activating it alters how the game engine interacts with the AMD driver, providing a temporary stability boost. However, the game sometimes disables this toggle automatically, meaning we need stronger back-end solutions. Close the game and let us modify the Windows Registry to disable ultra-low power state, or ULPS, for your AMD card. Press the Windows key and type Registry Editor, then right-click and run it as an administrator. Navigate to the H-key Local Machine System directory to begin our custom power optimization. Press Ctrl and F on your keyboard to open the search function, then type Enable ULPS and hit Enter. Once the registry key is found, double-click it and change the value data from 1 to 0. This Tenabalta fix forces the graphics card to maintain a consistent power state, preventing voltage drops between PUBG matches. Restart your computer immediately to apply this registry modification. Our next step involves optimizing the Windows multiplane overlay feature, which conflicts with AMD hardware acceleration. Download the official MPO Disable Registry file, which fixes rendering crashes globally across modern graphics cards. Run the MPO Disable Registry script and confirm the changes when prompted by the operating system. Disabling this overlay system drastically reduces display driver timeouts during heavy gaming workloads. Now, we need to adjust the API settings within PUBG itself to better suit the architecture of your specific card. Open the game again, navigate to the graphics settings, and locate the DirectX version option. Our benchmark tests concluded that switching from DirectX 11 enhanced to standard DirectX 11 offers the highest stability for the RX 7600. Apply this setting and restart the game to let the shaders recompile properly. Frame pacing is another crucial factor, so we highly recommend capping your in-game frame rate to match your monitor refresh rate. Uncapped frames allow the GPU to run at maximum utilization, which triggers the very power spikes we are trying to prevent. If the issue persists, we strongly advise using Display Driver Uninstaller to completely wipe your current AMD drivers. Boot into Windows Safe Mode, run the utility, and select the Clean and Restart option for your graphics card. Finally, when reinstalling the latest AMD Adrenalin drivers, select the driver-only installation option from the drop-down menu. This prevents background services from interfering with the game engine and guarantees maximum stability. Don't forget to follow Tenabalta for more.